everybody. Thank you all for coming. Delightful to see so many of you here. My name is Ann Ribby. It's my privilege to be the chairman of this group. So we're calling this meeting to order. We're also calling last month's meeting got a little heated at times. So we're also calling for these meetings to be cordial conversations. We all want to move the city forward. We all want to make what's best for the city, but let's do it through cordial conversation. So no screaming and yelling is what that boils down to. Thank you. Okay, very first thing we have is Code Compliance Officer Mariah, and I don't know her last name. Mariah Quinn.
There you go. Thank you. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'll keep it real short tonight unless you all have questions. I just need to remind everybody that if you have any projects going on, that permits are free until September. So if you have something that you want to, that needs to be done and you need a permit for it, it's the administration fee you have to pay, but for the valuation part of the permit is free. And then I think what I just wanted to remind everybody, and our manager Denzel Sykes brought it up at the commission meeting last night, that if you put an online complaint in and you're trying to follow the complaint, what IMS does for us is it, once you put the complaint in, it assigns that complaint a number in our system. And then if it's unfounded, it stays that number, but if it's found in non-compliance, then it's reassigned a new number. So in that original number that you're given when you make the complaint, you'll see that there's an area up above that says linked cases. That linked case will be the active case. So I get a lot of questions about people thinking that we're not following through or we haven't done any inspections, but they're looking at that original complaint case number that they were given and not the active case number. So I just want to remind everybody that if you put a complaint in, you're trying to follow it, make sure you're following the active case number and not the complaint number. But does anybody have any questions? Hi, John.
Dental made a comment is going to do a sweep between ISB and you know the other three?
It doesn't involve my area, so I was thankfully not on that email. But yeah, I know that they're working on, I think we've done the north side. We did the north side, and that's me. I'm Main Street north to the Ormond City line. But I think right now they're doing Main Street south. I know ISB is involved. But that is my coworker, Curtis Wiggins, has that area, and I know they're working with some of the commercial folks. So, and that would be Danny Garcia, and we have a couple of other inspectors that do special projects. So that kind of group is working. So if we're not the area that is affected, we just stay in our lane.
Second thing. The guy owns like 20, 30 houses in these downtown Syria area, older homes, and they've been taking him to court the last 5, 10 years or whatever it is. Are we taking it further on that?
So, yes, we are. So some of those have been released back to the mortgage company, and they're kind of trickling in. And so as we get them, I got one of those properties actually up on Morningside that we got condemned. And we're working closely with the building department, works with them more closely on those properties that have been condemned. So they're working with the mortgage company to determine whether they're gonna knock it down or they're gonna try to rehab it. So as they get released from their court proceedings, then we can kind of pick up with who's gonna be a new owner possibly. They'll be still responsible for the liens that are attached to the property. So that it actually takes a long time. So it was a long time to get him to that spot, and now and he keeps appealing everything. So it bogs it down, but we are slowly getting some of those properties. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you. Okay, next we're going to welcome our new police captain, Kimberly Gerner. All right, next.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. As Ms. Ruby said, I'm your new District 2 captain. Please don't beat me up too bad. I have been here for a month. However, most of my career has been in District 2. You guys are looking pretty decent with your crime numbers. You've had a handful of aggravated assaults, but out of the 7, 6 of them have been cleared by arrest. Recently, we had an auto theft where the suspect ran into Port Orange and he ended up carjacking somebody, and Port Orange caught the guy. He confessed to the Daytona case. Port Orange got their case. We have our bicycle unit that's been formed that has a boardwalk component. That boardwalk component, those officers are solely from North Ocean Avenue to South Ocean Avenue, from Grandview to the ocean, and that is their sole job, is to patrol that little square of the city. They have a sergeant and 4 officers that are on rotating shifts, 12 hours a day, and they work noon to midnight every single day. They've made a significant impact over there, at least that I think they have. They've made numerous arrests. They've gotten rid of quite a bit of vagrancy the best they can. I know some people have complained about the vagrancy underneath the Main Street Pier, and while that's not ours, we are working with the county to try to rid that area of any issues underneath the pier, because once they come off the beach during the day and it becomes a violation of code of their ordinance, they come up on the hard top. So we're trying to do what we can to control that. Our bicycle unit offers every single person they come into contact with the First Step shelter. They offer them bus tickets to go back to their families. Most people just don't want to accept it. We did send somebody to Missouri last Friday to go back to be with his mom. So that helped out quite a bit, but we're doing pretty good. So I know y'all have some questions.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When is Code Stat gonna start again?
I don't know that question.
Okay.
I don't know. When is Code Stat coming back?
What is that?
It's like a ComStat version of code.
Oh, no, CompStat. I mean,
Oh,
when is
you mean
CompStat?
public ComStat?
Yeah, when is public?
I can't answer that. I don't know when the chief wants to do public ComStat again.
Okay.
So, I do have some news, those of you who live near 224 North Hollywood. That will be back in the control of the property ownership. It's under a property management company. That will be back in their control tomorrow morning at 9:30. It looks absolutely horrible right this second. There's garbage and everything on the street, which will be cleaned up tomorrow morning. But all those people that have been squatting there will be evicted as of 9:30 in the morning, so they'll be out. Does anybody have, yes, sir?
All right, now, we were told several commission meetings ago that barrier was not gonna be just Grandview to the ocean. It was gonna include Main Street, and it was going to include A1A, especially we're having a problem on the corner of Oak Ridge, that 7-Eleven. There's like a dozen living kind of everywhere. And then on the end of Main Street on Halifax, there's 2 of them that literally live there. And one right in front of the cemetery. She kind of moves her way in there. So is there a way of expanding it to where the problem areas are?
So there's 2 components to the bike unit. I have bicycle units that work 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then I have the boardwalk guys that work noon to midnight. The boardwalk guys have that very strict square. The bicycle guys work this whole city, but there's only 3 of them, so they can't be in every single spot at every single minute of the day. So they get what they can as often as they can. The patrol shifts are also ordered to go in there and backfill that absence of the bike unit. So, you know, they have to do this in between calls for service. So it's not, you know, it's a revolving door. They're not robots, unfortunately. So they can't be everywhere at every minute of the day.
The homeless are there whenever they have a free time, the homeless will be there.
Yep. Hey, they exist.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any part on UCR crime stats you can share?
Yeah, actually I do. I don't know why I didn't open my mouth a minute ago about that. Come on, phone. All right. So in this last 2-week period, the patrol shifts have had 965 calls for service. They wrote 216 reports. 37 felony arrests, 444 misdemeanors, 115 traffic stops, 96 citations. We had one car break in the district that one was cleared by arrest. We had the one auto theft that I discussed, which was cleared by arrest. We had one burglary, 7 aggravated assaults, 6 cleared by arrest, and 2 robberies, 1 was cleared by arrest. That robbery was of an e-bike, and that guy was found at 224 North Hollywood. So he was found pretty quickly, and was taken into custody pretty quickly.
And these are the stats for your district?
For District 2.
For District 2. All right.
Yes, sir.
How you doing on the boardwalk? I noticed a lot of people getting arrested.
Yeah,
Do you have any numbers on that?
I can give you my whole bike stats. Would that work?
Oh, yeah, I was just curious, because I see a lot of arrests on the boardwalk.
Let me scroll to that part of the page. They had 62 calls for service. They wrote 32 reports. The bike unit did 11 felonies, 19 misdemeanors, and 5 traffic stops and 5 tickets. That was in a 2-week period. So,
How many day period?
I'm sorry?
How many day period?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The last
Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
I was at one of the meetings a while ago, and Tricia Loomis said there was a number to, when you find the homeless spreading their stuff all out. I walk my dog all through the neighborhood and ride my little scooter thingy and all that. I'm out there all the time, I see it. But I didn't get the number now, so I asked them that somebody at Harvey Street, and they said, call me dispatch. Well, I did that. I spent 10 minutes talking to the stupid AI.
Yep.
Said the number and
That's
it
it.
didn't understand. I had to give up.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
it did not understand that, you know, that homeless, whatever, and, well, what were they doing, and
Okay,
then
do you-
tried to.
Yeah, unfortunately, our police department is dispatched through the county's dispatch, and the way that they're resolving some of their shortages is by using an AI system to determine whether or not the call for service is an emergency or not. That AI system's gonna ask you 100 questions, and that's unfortunately not us, that's the county with their system.
Do you know the phone number he's talking about?
It's the normal number to dispatch.
The normal dispatch number?
Yeah,
Okay.
AI will automatically pick it up and ask certain questions to determine if it's,
Well, they said it was a number that you text, that
Oh.
you could text or you could call.
okay.
And
The
so
text,
that-
the text thing goes to dispatch as well.
Oh, does
Yeah,
it?
that's the unfortunate part.
Okay.
So, well, I don't know, they don't seem to understand that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can relay this information to their supervisors.
Good, because I could have reported about a dozen of them in the past month,
Okay,
and I know where they're at and all, I'm out there almost every other day.
we should hire you on the
Uh,
bike squad.
25 an hour.
How much?
No benefits needed.
No benefits. Did anybody else have any questions?
All right.
All right.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Well, I put a thing in, I don't know if they were gonna read those questions, it was about the Kangaroo Express and,
No, I thought that was a city manager question.
oh, okay, that's fine, yeah, I wasn't sure.
I-
Yeah, either way.
Okay.
It's just a nuisance property, it's constant drug activity there.
So maybe it's both questions.
Okay.
I mean, the guy
It's
was-
at 201 Main Street, the Kangaroo, at Halifax
How
and
can it
Maine.
become a nuisance property?
So-
I mean, like Donald Shoup, I mean, he's been arrested 80 times, I think, he lives there, pretty much. And I see the drug deals going on constantly. People sleeping there, I've probably called, like you said, 12 times, probably at least that many times.
When you say nuisance property, are you referring to
Well,
making
because
it?
of the drug activity,
Okay.
people laying there,
So-
sitting there, urinating there, dropping their feces there, doing drugs there, etc., the whole 9 yards.
Okay, I will ensure that patrol has that complaint as well. I don't know why they would not service that complaint, but I know Sergeant Conley's spoken
Sometimes
to
they
you
show
about
up,
it.
sometimes they don't, depending on other calls,
Yeah.
obviously they're more important for sure.
Sure, but I know Sergeant Conley's also spoken to you about that before.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But they also, to have it declared a nuisance
Yep.
is a very specific process.
Correct.
So it's not just based on the number of calls.
Right, so like Jay's Food Store was deemed a nuisance property at one point. That's a bit of a process to get it done. It's not hard, it's pretty simple, but you have to go through a whole process in front of a hearing, board, nuisance abatement board hearing to get it all, and you have to prove why they're a nuisance. So, it can be worked on.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome. You guys have a good evening. Thank you.
Okay, we are gonna take questions for the city manager when he's here, but we're gonna ask that they be written. So anybody who came in late, there should be pads of paper and pencils on your table. Please legibly write your question. Thank you. Okay. Next, we are gonna have our secretary treasurer's report. That is Jared Hoffbauer. Thank you, Jared.
Hello, so we have our normal B&W general fund, and it doesn't really move much. We don't have a whole lot of expenses out of that. It's at $631.43. Our B&W barbecue fund, which moves quite a bit more. We get more donations and we have more expenses out of that for feeding the police officers and during all the events. So we started out with a balance of $3,855.18. We had deposits from Pass the Hat of $32. We had some food expenses in there, and then we had some in-kind donations and some reimbursement things, and if you want more details on those, they're on the sheet here as well. But we ended with a balance of $4,444.04. The only secretarial piece is that apparently our 2024 e-postcard for a 501c3 was missed, and that may have been me. I apologize for that, but it is all taken care of now. So we did that in retro, and it didn't really affect anything. It just wasn't on file. So that is now on file, and everything is up to date. So, thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Jared. Thank you. Okay, now we are to announcements. We're gonna do Pass the Hat. This time it's for the general fund. Out of the general fund, we pay for things like the filing for Sunbiz, anytime we do printing for business cards, any mailings, the P.O. box that we maintain. So if you'd like to donate for that, Sharon's gonna pass around the hat, which is a tinfoil plate, so don't put it on your head. We need a Zone 3 member on the beautification board. So if you know anybody in Zone 3 who wants to be on the beautification board, that would be great. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Oh, yes. Never mind. Okay, now we're gonna have announcements. First from Joyce Acox, Seniors versus Crime. Thank you.
Hi, Joyce Acox, Seniors versus Crime. Oops, I'll be quick. I have flyers. There's some more of these because there was interest last time about the property fraud alert, how to sign up for that, and the hurricane stuff. Quickly, the radio, the 106.3 FM Daytona Beach Radio, we were going to be on in June. That's been changed. It's going to be August. So it's August 5th, which is the day before the August meeting here. And I just made up some quick flyers for that out there, because I won't be here in July, so maybe Ann will remind you in July.
I will try to remember.
It'll be posted on our Facebook page. Please join our Facebook page. I have some of these about the police department casting with a cop that they're doing at the ball center. Also, there's a new little coffee cafe opening up. The other one did so well, but this one is going to, I put some flyers out there with this one. It's it's on 126 ISB, which is in between Palmetto and, that goes over there, Palmetto and Beach Street. So check him out. He's a nice young kid. So.
Is it Jaybird?
Jaybirds, yeah. Have you been there? Do you know?
Yes, it's right next to my yoga
He's a real nice kid.
studio.
Black Road Communications Offices, I talked to him last week from early morning on Pleasant.
He has a coffee cart too that he does for special events and stuff like that, which is a good idea. I think that's pretty much it.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Hours?
It's posted on here. He's on Facebook and everything.
6 to 2.
6 to 2, but it's going to be, what is it? Not Tuesday.
He changed his hours.
Yeah.
He's gonna, Monday and
Well,
Tuesday, I think
6:30.
he's closed.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday is closed, but yeah, I'm gonna go get coffee tomorrow morning. 6:30, you better be there.
All right, thank you, Joyce. Our next announcement is from Board Member Laura Murphy, who has a quick announcement about a local rummage sale, I believe.
Hello, my name is Laura Murphy. I wanted to let you all know that at the end of the month, there will be a rummage sale at the Methodist Church on Harvey. If you want to rent a table and bring your own table, it's $5. But if you want to just bring your stuff, it would be $10. There's flyers on your table with my phone number on them, and also larger flyers on Joyce's table over here with the Joyce's table, with a larger flyer. So if you have any questions, I just wanted to let you know that this was going on. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Next, somebody walked off with my agenda.
Oh, this is yours. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, our August meeting will be all the beachside candidates for zones 1 and 3. That's currently 5 candidates. And we have heard back, we've reached out to all 5. We have heard back from 4, but we have not heard back from Commissioner Quinita May. So if anybody wants to reach out to her again and see if she has any interest, that would be great. What we're gonna do and what we're asking for tonight, which might be a little confusing because we're gonna ask for written questions. And what we're gonna do is collect the written questions at the June meeting tonight, the July meeting, and then the board will put together a list of questions that we will ask all the candidates. We're gonna give them to them in advance, but what we're gonna do is try to get answers of substance. We don't wanna hear a litany of them identifying what the problems are. That's not an answer. We don't want to hear how great it was when they grew up here. That's not an answer. We want to hear what it is they're actually going to propose to try and do and try to persuade the other commissioners to go along with. So I'm hoping that you guys can give us some written questions for the candidates. That would be awesome. If you can't do them tonight, you can email them to our email address, which is on your agenda, beachsideneighborhoodwatch@gmail.com, and we will get those consolidated so that by August we'll have a good list of questions. Thank you. We have a bunch of meetings coming up. We have 2 First Step Shelter Board meetings, the 8th and the 22nd. Did I put down August? It's June, they're both June. I really struggle with that. The Beachside Redevelopment Board is coming up next week. City Commission meetings, the 17th, and then again the 1st of July. We added 4 new board members to our board, so I want to welcome them. Sharon Weatherholz, Jasmine Felix, Laura Murphy, and Jeff Murphy. Very, very grateful for their participation in the board. It's wonderful to have you. And I also want to acknowledge all the other board members. We have Vern Weatherholz, Jared Hoffpowers, Sue Odina, Kelly, Jared, Ken, myself, Ted, and never forget Ted. And I probably did just now forget someone. Anyhow, we want to thank Ted, Vern, and Sharon. They're the big drivers for having food at these meetings, so thank you guys. The Lady of Lords Veterans, thank you to Father Phil for allowing us use of the space. It's wonderful. And thank you to Hillary and her crew for helping us with all the AV and things like this microphone. So now we're going to acknowledge our elected and public officials present. We have City Manager Deric Feacher. We have City Commissioner Monica Paris, City Commissioner Ken Strickland, and I think, we have Planning Board Member Vern Weatherholz, Planning Board Member Jasmine Felix. I think, yes. Chris? Are you a board member? What board are you on?
Peabody.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know that. So thank you, welcome. Thank you for serving. the at-large member of the Peabody. Oh, and then the Peabody board also includes Linda Smiley, and she's also on Parks and Rec, correct? Okay. Oh yeah, and I guess I can go a little off the rails here. Laura is on Beachside Redevelopment Board.
And then Jeff is on the.
Historic preservation.
And Jeff is on Historic Preservation Board. And I realized I spelled Jeff's name wrong on this outlet. So anyhow, thank you all for serving. It's nice to be in a group where so many people are actually participating in our community. And now we're gonna have our city manager, Deric Feacher. Thank you. And if you have questions, look around
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Hopefully, he said if I talk loud, I don't have to stand behind the microphone. And I did not want to give a whole presentation after talking with Ann a little bit this afternoon, because she said there may be a lot of questions. So I don't want to spend a bunch of time just talking. I want to be able to answer your questions. Do thank Commissioner Strickland and Commissioner Paris, who are here, who serve as city commissioners here in Daytona Beach, but also all of you who serve on different boards. It's public service is a great thing to be a part of, so we really do appreciate all of you serving as individuals who don't get paid. And so get paid for it. But thank you all for really allowing me the opportunity to be here to speak with you all. Some people think that I don't mind talking with anyone, but that is definitely not the case. I will talk to anyone. The only thing I ask is that you give me the opportunity to respond, because if you start to interrupt me and my questioning me, I'll just stop. It's no need for both of us to try to talk over each other. It's about answering the questions and responding to you. So I will, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'm going to answer the question based on the knowledge that I have and try to give you the answers. And I just wanted to share one key thing beforehand. Many of you know that the state legislature passed the property tax homestead exemption. I think you should be very clear about that and read up on the information, understand it. We were gonna have it last night, where we're gonna talk about how much that the city possibly could lose if that goes through, and what the commissioners will be faced with, what they think we should cut out of the budget. One of the good things about Daytona Beach, though, is that we have a large commercial property taxes compared to other cities that will be losing a lot. Some cities will, I don't know how some cities will be able to operate. If they lose it, you look at a place like Deltona, that they have a large residential population and not as much commercial. For us, it's not going to be, the 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars. We're looking at between 10 and 15 million that we may have to reevaluate what we spend our money on, because we do give out a lot of money as a city, and those things will have to be looked at, and we're going to be bringing those discussions back to the commissioners pretty much in July, so they can see, do they want to continue funding certain projects or funding certain groups, knowing that if it passes in November, that money will be taken away from the general fund coffers. So those are the things that I just want you to be focusing on. We're going to try to share information of how we pay for certain things in our community, so that elected officials can make the decision. Do they want to keep paying for those items? Because some people want this property tax reform. Some people who may be on fixed incomes, some people who may believe that their homes have been paid for, and they may have in their ideas, let's not have that tax. But then there are things that we will lose as a city also that may be of value to the community or not. And staff doesn't get to make that decision. Elected officials get to make that decision. And they make that decision based off of what their constituents advise them, and they think what is in the best interest for the community. And so I just wanted to share those just brief opening questions, because I see Ann getting her statement, and I want to answer the questions and not just let me talk about what I think is right or wrong.
Okay, so I have 13 questions.
See?
Okay, we're going to start with the order in which I think I received them. Crime statistics and transparency. Why does the Daytona Beach Police Department not routinely publish crime statistics and trend data in a manner that is easily accessible to the public? Are there plans to provide a public dashboard or regular reporting so residents can objectively assess crime trends within the city?
Thank you for that question. I believe that the captain talked about that. That is something that is a decision by the chief of police and his leadership team. And so we will take that question back to see what his steps are for putting that type of information on the dashboard.
And we, since they went from LIBORs to NIBORs, they stopped doing the public CompStat meetings, and it would be great if they would start those up again. We've been asking about that for, what, 2 or 3 years now? So, anyhow, that's editorializing on my part.
I knew you would do that, but also will you make sure that I get copies of the questions?
Yes.
So we can provide them back to you. Those that cannot be answered today, I can give them back to you and you can put them online on the
We will do
Facebook
that.
page.
Thank you. Is the Daytona Beach, okay, question number 2. Is the Daytona Beach Police Department currently accredited? If so, through which accrediting organization? When was its most recent accreditation review? And are there any corrective actions, recommendations, or compliance issues currently outstanding?
I don't know if there's any compliance issues outstanding for the police department. I don't think our police department has ever been nationally accredited through CALEA. I think we've only been a state accrediting agency, and I think they're up for reaccreditation now. I don't know what the status is, if they're completely compliant now, but I do know they're still up for going back for accreditation on the state level. But in my conversations with the chief before, he wants us not only to be accredited through the state, but also through the national CALEA.
Okay. City employees and outside nonprofit activities. Records obtained through public records request show that Ms. Fountain, who works in the city manager's office and serves as president of the National Hookup at Black Women, has coordinated that group's activities, communicated regarding their events using her city email account, and that they have received city discretionary funding during her tenure with the city. Can you explain what city policies govern this type of activity? Specifically, is a city employee permitted to advocate for, coordinate activities for, or seek funding on behalf of a nonprofit they lead while using city resources, city email, or work time? Additionally, what safeguards are in place to ensure there is no actual or perceived conflict of interest in these situations? Was this activity reviewed by the city's legal department, human resources department, ethics officer, or any other authority? And if so, what determination was made? So that's a big question. There's a lot of questions.
A big question that I just can't give you an answer for right now. Ms. Fountain works under the direction of Pam Goodwin, and if there's any violations in reference to the work that she does, we would actually be able to look at that. So I would need more information for her. I do know that she serves with the Hookup and also the Junior League, but anytime that I know that she's actually done anything for those nonprofits, she has taken off, and it will be able to be denoted on her timesheet if she's taken off or not. And so if that's Gina Fountain in the city manager's office that works for Pam, I can look at that information. But I can tell you that I know for a fact that at times when she has served or wanted to do something outside of the office for a nonprofit, she takes off.
Okay, and do you have public records you'd like to submit that you've already collected?
Who asked the question?
Oh, yeah. So, okay, we'll talk about that. Okay, so to make the answer easier and more thorough.
Who's asking the?
Rich.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, if he provides me the information, I'll have Pam to look at it.
Okay. What? No, if you could just email it and we'll get it kind of all sorted. Okay. Now we're to recurring discretionary funding and accountability. And this kind of encompasses 3 of the questions here, but we'll do them one at a time. According to city funding records, Whitnest received approximately $36,000 in discretionary funding between 2022 and 2024, while New Birth Corporation received approximately $47,850 between 2022 and 2026. Both organizations appear to share a common leader, Reverend Inez Stafford. What objective criteria does the city use when determining whether an organization should receive recurring discretionary funds over multiple years? And these are talking about COVID, ARPA funds, and Bike Week funds. Okay, are recipient organizations required to document how prior taxpayer funds were spent, what measurable outcomes were achieved, and whether those outcomes were reviewed before additional funding is approved? Additionally, when multiple funded organizations share common leadership, does the city perform any additional review to ensure transparency and avoid duplication of funding objectives and verify that public funds are being distributed according to established criteria? That's the end of questions. On that, we've got question number 4.
I really would appreciate if those could have been sent earlier, if you really wanted a full-fledged answer. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. No funds are approved by the city staff. These funds go through elected bodies at a public meeting with public comments attached, with nonprofit documents attached that legal signs off on, our attorney, our finance department, and management. All funds are approved at a public meeting, and they have their own nonprofit status. They have to go through the state of Florida and communicate. We have created, it has to be reported, we have a document form that we ask them to fill out. Richard, is this your same question? Yeah, I'll make sure I send you a full detailed email as well when I attach it to Ann Ruby. And so there's a process. So it's not a matter of they're asking for money from a staff member and we just sign off on it. These items go through the elected bodies also. The key thing is that we do have a form, and within the form like we're asking for this year, where we're not going to put in our budget, we have a form that says, how have you spent the money? Who else do you receive money from? Have you filed your documents appropriately? And so if they haven't done that, when they request funds again, we'll give that to elected officials. And they get to make the decision if they want to give the money to them or not. And there are funds in the budget for the past 10 years, not only 4 or 5 years, that we've been giving out every year to groups because they've asked for it. And it's a part of the normal budget process. And so all of the documents that we've asked for them to give back to us, saying if they receive money from Murphy Enterprises, because sometimes they're getting money, they're asking us for money, and they're asking another group for that same exact money. And so those forms, everything gets voted on, and sometimes commissioners don't agree with it. If you watched the meeting last night, we had 3 commissioners that voted against funds and 3 that voted for funds, and it failed because it was not a majority. This was the first time since I think since I've been here that they've said, let's look at these individual funds. But they've been approving them, and it's not just something that we approve unless it is a normal occurrence that has been done. And you could probably look at forms. I've asked Pam Goodwin, who's been with us as a city almost 20 years, I always ask, has this been approved before? You know, what has been the background of it? Why has it been approved? Because some things I question, like, why are we giving money to certain things? Because we give money we give money to Clash for the Speedway, for a marathon race that used to be given from the county, and it's always been something that was given. But I want to just look at all of that whole question and respond to it also in writing to you.
Okay, so we're basically talking about kind of 2 categories of funds. One are the ones that the commission can do, the COVID and the bike week.
But they're all the same. There's also all of the money still goes through.
They all goes up for commission vote. Yeah. I understand that. But then there's also the separate ones where, like, for say Juneteenth.
Yes.
And Clash.
Yes.
So can you, when we get the answer, we can get a list of kind of both but separate.
Yeah, we can
both
separate. Yeah, because we have itemized for every single expenditure on a form that says how much has been given and how many years it's been given. COVID funds that came from the federal government were separated, and they still come before the commission. But then there are funds just within the general fund that we give out to different groups, like Clash,
Juneteenth.
I
can't think of any other ones right now. But we'll get that information.
And then you can put it on your Facebook page as well.
Okay. And this is the third part of that
Is
question.
this from the same person?
Yes, but this was,
5 more.
no, these three kind of cluster together. Will the city consider publishing an annual public report identifying all discretionary funding recipients, the amounts awarded?
Yes. And that may be put up, that could be put up, if you're asking for all expenditures, it can be put up within the next week or two, because there's a spreadsheet that says all of the expenditures, with check numbers and all, that we have on a spreadsheet.
Okay,
That is not a
it
problem.
would include the sponsoring commissioner or mayor,
Yes.
the stated purpose, and any outcome or performance reports
Yes.
submitted by the recipient organizations.
Yes.
Okay,
And if I can get it off my phone, if it goes that far, I'll email it to you right now.
okay, thank you. Okay, so, is that page? Panhandling ordinance litigation. What is the current,
I cannot talk
what
about
is-
panhandling.
just read the question, sorry. What is the current status of the panhandling ordinance litigation and injunction? What legal or procedural steps remain before the matter is resolved? And what impact has the litigation had on the city's ability to enforce the ordinance? And your answer is I can't discuss any of that?
No.
Can you tell us why?
It's in litigation.
But why?
Why is it in litigation?
No, why can't it? Because we can find out everything online. Okay. But our
Okay.
city officials can't help us. Is that what you're saying, legally?
It is under litigation, and we have been asked to not talk about anything that deals with the panhandling, so we can go through the process.
Okay, so it sounds like if there's public record out there, the public is welcome to go look at the public record, but that city officials have been told not to comment on it. That
is
sounds
correct.
like the answer. Okay, now, internal financial audit program. What is the current status of Mr. Belichew's departmental audit initiative? How many departments have been audited? How many remain? And what significant findings, recommendations, or corrective actions have resulted from the audits completed thus far?
Yes, well, I can't talk to you about what audits he's working on. You would have to talk to his supervisors, which are Commissioner Strickland and Commissioner Paris. The auditor does not work at the direction of the city manager or the city attorney. He works at the direction of the elected body, just like me and Attorney Gross. Our departments have been audited as well. The legal department, he's audited P-cards for the city manager. Matter of fact, he's audited P-cards of the commissioners that you get, but those things I don't think have been presented yet. The corrective actions in reference to the P-card audits for us has been, we've updated our policies, which he's reviewed. The commissioners received those, I think, in January or February, of the updated policy saying how things can be spent. And you can do a public records request to see the email from me to the elected officials and to the employees about how we update our P-cards to make sure they meet the appropriate policies. But I can't tell you anything about any additional audits that he may be working on, because a part of his audit plan does not discuss what he's working on. He takes that to the elected officials. And they can ask for what he's working on, and I think they have to do it in a public meeting to get a vote to make it one. He can't do it individually. They can ask him, but I don't know if he would share it as the auditor.
Okay, and just to remind the two commissioners in the room that his annual review is coming up as of September 1st. He will be here a year, so I'm hoping somebody will get the annual review started for him. Thank you. That we don't let it go on for 3 or 4 years. Okay, next question that was submitted, and it relates to that Kangaroo Express. And it sounds like, what can be done to get that? Can we put something in process to get that looked at as a nuisance?
I think Catherine said she's
nuisance
gonna get it.
property?
I think
Okay.
Catherine said she's gonna look at
Because
it.
it sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on that it might be actually nuisanceful. Okay.
Is there anyone in here like on the nuisance abatement board?
No. I was.
You should get back on it.
Okay. This one kind of goes to what you already talked about. If the property tax reform passes, can we try to get a percent of the millions we send to Tallahassee? I guess that would be in terms of sales tax, get more of the sales tax back.
I'm not sure we can do that without legislative approval. I know John talks about this all the time, about how much taxes goes to the county through the bed tax here in Daytona Beach. And so a lot of the funding that takes place that comes into our community goes outside, even though the major hub of tourism is in our community. And so I don't think we will be able to do that. We're gonna, for the city's perspective, we're gonna have to really be able to show the value of what we do with the services we provide with the money we have. That's gonna be the key thing. That's where people, so many people will say, well, I want my taxes to be lower because you are not doing what you're supposed to do with the money that we have. That is what's in individuals' minds. And so when we look at twofold, I don't think we'll get money back from the state, but we're gonna have to really be able to show the value of the money that goes out from the city for the services we provide, if that does pass.
Okay, is there specific zoning that allows halfway houses in single-family residential zoning?
Oh, yeah, there's part of our LDCs, I don't know the exact numbers, but that deal with that particular item.
Okay, who is cleaning up all the human piles of feces I come across while biking? I send video links. Do you do it through See-Click-Fix?
I send them to the commissioners, I guess they forward them to Mr. Feacher. I guess I should just send them to you.
Well, if you send them through See-Click-Fix, do you have that app on your phone?
No.
Sometimes that's a good one.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to do that.
I just send the links to my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
okay.
I would encourage you to send it, if you can, to the See-Click-Fix, because it's instantly right there. It goes the direction, but it's a tough situation we're in. You know, people are not concerned about this community like you are. They're not concerned about, so someone has their dog's feces just out there, or a human feces, it doesn't matter. And you're concerned about the beautification of Daytona Beach.
It's right in the middle of the sidewalk on the bridges.
Yeah, and a lot of times.
Down or walk up and down the bridges.
And every employee is not walking down every single bridge. And so the value of the whole community aspect, the partnership, and the value you bring to our community is you want it to be clean. And I think it's very important, if you're able to do the click and tick, right then it goes directly to a certain individual to help, because we don't just have staff there just walking the bridge. And sending it to the commissioners, they may not see it right away. And then once you send it to them, they send it to me or send it to someone else, then I have to send someone when the app has it going instantly to that exact person. So you're already sending it to 3 or 4 people, and by the time 3 or 4 other people have rolled past that same stuff. So I may get something, Commissioner Parrish will email, she could email me 3 or 4 times, but Commissioner Reed may be at Emeryville working, and she can't email it right there, or Commissioner Parrish may be having a meeting with someone, and you're sending it to the mayor. So if you send it on that link, it goes right to staff members, and we can respond. And I can help you download the app if you want, and it will give you a ticket to say when it's been cleaned up or who's responsible for it.
Because myself and some other employees at the restaurant I work at, we're cleaning and disinfecting the piles behind the restaurant, the walkway where they are dropping constantly. Right off of Beach Street, behind the businesses. It's terrible.
Yep, See-Click-Fix is pretty good for getting pretty quick action.
Is it right on the website you'd like to know?
See-Click-Fix is an app. It's an app on your phone, and then when you open it up, it's got great things. It's got like resource for all the city agendas, the city calendar for like public meetings that's being run by the city. Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's very good.
And it's got a link to See-Click-Fix. So yeah, anybody who wants help finding See-Click-Fix, you can find me afterwards, and I can help you with
You
that.
spell it out for her.
See-Click-Fix is the DB City Connect is the name of the app. DB City Connect is the app that has all the little tiles that take you useful places. So it's a wonderful thing. And if you report something that, like I reported a traffic light that wasn't working, and it knew right away, that's the state, not us. So that it, instead of me thinking, oh, the city's not doing anything, and wasting time, I knew who to complain to. So,
The good thing, I want to add on to that, the good thing about that really is you can take a picture and you can just hit your location. You don't have to type in the address.
Right.
You don't have to do any of that. You can literally be on the road, take a picture. It will GPS exactly where you're located, and it will send it based off of, if it says, old tires on the side of the road, it's gonna send it to a staff member in Public Works. They're gonna ask you, do you wanna be, you want us to contact you once it's picked up or stuff like that? Some people don't want any of that because they don't want their name connected. And you can just do it and it just goes through the system. But if you wanted to follow up, they will follow up with you if you put your information in.
But I do believe if you make a code complaint, you do have to attach your name.
Yeah, I
So,
just use the ticket. You don't have to put your name, just take a picture.
I'm pretty sure you have to put your name if you're making it as a code complaint. But you and I can argue about that, but I'm pretty sure you do.
Don't make it a code.
Okay.
Don't make it a concern.
A concern, okay. So, before I get to the second to the last question, I'm gonna do this other question. We wanna thank Public Works for quick response yesterday to damage from flooding and microburst. So somebody's just thanking Public Works. So thank you, they do an amazing job. Okay. And now, the last question that we have written here, what is an update on Main Street, please? And thank you.
Main Street is interesting. Main Street is interesting. I was here in the 90s, and it looks pretty much the same. Except for Main Street Station, it rocks. I really do appreciate that they actually welcome me in, and no one knows me when I have on shorts, a t-shirt, and a hat backwards with shades. So I appreciate that. Y'all didn't tell anyone who I was just hanging out, so I do appreciate that. But they did a request for an entire streetscape project. Everything was put together, a lot of stuff, there was the roads tearing up, and the commissioners asked for staff to go back out and meet with the merchants. And the merchants wanted to really decrease some of the recommendations because they believe that it would actually hinder operations at their facilities for months to years. If you know about Beach Street, it took a while. And so we're going back based off of the merchants meeting. I think it was about 50 people in this meeting. I came in, and after I heard them talking, I said, I better leave. But David Waller actually did the meeting, and they're gonna bring back a scaled down process. They really wanna focus on lights, landscaping, planners, but not really tearing up the road, taking away parking and things of that nature. It's on both sides, because you've got the business owners, the merchants are saying, we don't want to tear up our streets for so long, but then you got residents who want to come down and say they don't feel safe walking on a dark road through an alley. So we're in a tight situation, and our elected officials are going to be in a tight situation, because I see some of their emails where they forward to me where you got people, oh, don't listen to the merchants, but then you got merchants saying we're the ones that are making sure that there is at least some activities down there now. And people keep saying there's nothing to do on Main Street. Or there are a bunch of businesses that are open on Main Street year-round compared to those that are not open. I walked the other day and seen it, but we do need more activity. There's not, you can't tell me we don't need more activity and diversity of things out there. So I'm not going to just say that we have enough out there, but for the businesses that are there, I don't listen to a lot of heavy metal, loud music, but I like Feacher, so I will go there and support. Even though when I go there, I'm gonna hear some things. Like she's gonna tell me right, wrong, and indifference. But I understand the value what she's trying to bring to that corridor. Because when John and I don't know why I go to breakfast with John every 3 months, but I do. John talks about New Orleans and how the streets could be closed off and activities. And I think about how do we get people to go from the Ocean Center and not just go back to their hotel, but to walk down, what is that street? Not Noble. No, Coast, all that, and walk to Main Street, and then have the ability to party in the streets. Like literally in Winter Haven now, when I was in Winter Haven, they had 10 restaurants on Central Avenue. And on Friday night, the city went out and blocked the end of Central Avenue, and we put tables down the middle of the street, and you could order from any restaurant and any bar, and you could eat on Friday nights, and we had a band on the end. Now there are 4 or 5 bands, but this is every Friday they were having this, and we would be dressed up, and we just go out in the streets, and they had signs that said no beer beyond this point. And it happened in a place that had 1 restaurant on the street in 2004. It was a hot dog stand. And there are 3 steakhouses the same length on a street just like Main Street on Central Avenue. And I never thought that it would be that many people to spend money on that. But the synergy that took place with having a jazz bar on one end, heavy metal on the other end, and hip hop, it worked, and the synergy worked. And I've seen that in a community. And so that's the redevelopment of that. They're gonna be bringing it back. And I would encourage you, if you know a merchant here and you visit one of those locations, you should talk to the merchants about what will help to bring you down to their area. Because the merchants, you don't want to put them out of business because a road is closed for 6 months. And that's, if there's nobody that you can't even get through, and we've heard this when we used to have the disappointment between Al Smith and the merchants. Like, you're blocking off a road and my people can't get to my location because I'm not a part of your event. And you can't do that to somebody that's there as a brick and mortar location every single day. That's why I do understand the value of not just having food trucks everywhere. Because food trucks are not paying water bills and electric bills and all of that, but that brick and mortar merchant is paying that every day regardless if one person comes in or 100. Even though I support food trucks, I think we have to have a balance for those individuals who have a storefront and not just a mobile type vending thing that comes in and out.
Okay, that is the end of the written questions we have.
I'll answer more if somebody has some.
I have
in
one.
there.
Okay,
But it's her meeting, I'm sorry.
Tammy asks her questions.
Why is spent all that money on the beautiful Esplanade Park and the bridge that goes behind the library under ISB Bridge is closed? It's closed now, and they said it's closed until September, October. That bridge has been closed more than it's been open since it was built. There's no reason for the bridge that, do you know which one I'm talking about?
Are you talking about where they're putting the seawall up? So
That, not the one from the library, that one I understand because they're putting the seawall up there. The one behind, like where the children's playground is?
The one that takes you under the ISB bridge.
Yes, exactly. The one that.
Is it open?
No, it is, there's no reason for it to be closed. I caught the guy and said, why is this closed? He said, oh, people were jumping over the barricade. They closed the big bridge before they put a barricade up. I go there every day. So it's sheer laziness, and they just don't want to be bothered with opening the gate.
Okay, so that's the question, is why is that gate closed?
Why is it closed?
It looks like Monica had.
Well, no, it's the Bookland Bridge.
The Bookland Bridge?
I don't know why it would be closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should not be closed, but it is.
Okay, well, will you write that down for me, and I will add it to the written down questions.
Thank you.
Okay.
John, you won't get lunch or breakfast.
I'll risk it. All right, now the mayor for 15 years has been making comments that we.
I'm not the mayor.
I know.
Ask me a question that I can answer.
I am, trust me. For 15 years that we need to spend money on the beach side because of our tourist industry. Now, 5 years ago, when he was running for re-elections, he said, we really need to spend money on the Beachside to clean it up. Then he came back again, like a year and a half ago, for the reopening of the arch, and said, well, we really need to spend money on the Beachside. Now, at what point can we go to the city commissioners with your blessing to say we have money in the CRA funds, can we spend that on the Beachside?
Seriously, John?
Seriously.
You're asking at what point you can go to the commissioners? You go to the commissioners all the time. Just ask. Yeah, occasionally, every meeting.
No, I do it. Trust me. But
So you,
if the mayor says we need it, all right? We have a commissioner here that often says we need to clean up the area. At what point are we going to do it?
so John, let's, you know, no, he'll go to breakfast. I said, John does stick to the 1 hour breakfast, but he has a lot of stuff on a piece of paper he gives me. I'm gonna use Commissioner Paris. Hopefully she doesn't get mad with me. Too late. Commissioner Paris and I have started to have real candid conversations about how do we navigate to get things done in certain areas based off of the needs of what she's hearing from her constituents. And a lot of times, even citizens, I mean, I've got tagged in so many things, almost as if I'm keen. You know, my wife doesn't even say my name as much as people have said my name on social media platforms. And the elected officials have the ability to change the priorities every other meeting. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what a staff member says. If the commissioners right now want to take all of the money out of the CRA for Main Street and put it towards putting a bus, putting a trolley, which I told, and you don't need, if they say to me tomorrow, we want you to put on the agenda, a majority says to buy a trolley out of this money that's legal, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna buy a trolley. Whether I agree with it or not, I don't think, Ann and I have had this conversation, she has it more often with me now, about the trolley. She sends me pictures about Boston, where I go all the time, but I don't think people are gonna ride the trolley. But if Ann was on the commission, she would ask that question every single month, and if they approved it, we would go buy a trolley, whether 100 people wrote it or not. So when you say the mayor says, the mayor is the mayor, he has one vote just like everybody else. He does not get to, just say, let's spend money on everything. And I can tell you that Commissioner Paris, it doesn't matter if I say it's not gonna work 100 times. She is gonna follow up with, let's look at this idea, let's look at this perspective. How does it go back to the commission? And that's the thing. So we can't do it. Even people get mad at Ken Thomas, they get mad at Michelle or Phoebe, they get mad at Jim Morris or Dennis. If the commissioners make a decision to change something, we're gonna change. Prime example, we spent $100-some thousand probably on the consultant for the Main Street streetscape project. They wanted, all of the talk was lights, how do we get landscape and things around, auditorium that people can sit out and walk up. And now the focus is on how do we get string lights across Main Street, how do we improve the sidewalks, the landscaping, make it more walkable, and that's the direction we're going, whether we agree with it or not. So you, John, you know that is the case. Commissioner Strickland talks about, he gave his money for COVID, for lights. Did he really have to? Probably not. That should have probably been something that just came through regular process over years of 5, 10, 15 years. But he gave it because really I think he's tired of hearing about street lights and cameras. And people fuss about what he's not doing, even though he's doing stuff out of those funds that probably the main CRAs should just say, let's approve those things. And so, it's your elected body also. Staff, it's tough for us. I'm gonna just tell you, in 5 years, I've been here, and how many strategic plans as a city have we done? Yeah. Commissioner Parrish, how many times have we talked about it?
There you go.
So here's the thing, when people wanna say to me, this is what you have to do, it has to be a concerted effort. Whether people believe it or not, I've done this since 2001. I just didn't wake up and do it. I've done this since 2001. And I get called to coach other city managers throughout the rural. So it's not a matter of me trying to make a name here. It's better, how do I improve the community? That really is it. Because when this city says they no longer want me, as long as my wife and son, my grandkids and daughter-in-law like me, I'm happy. I'm just gonna go and find another place to provide service to. Because it's not about me getting a name recognition. I've done this since 2001. 3 cities. I'm just trying to help the community in which I live right now and serve. And not have to drive back every Saturday to see 2 grandkids that's 5 and 2. You know, that's the thing for me. It's not about that. And also to be able to continue, like Ann talks about that, for me to continue to be able to give money for 2 scholarships. For an endowment at my alma mater, Bethune-Cookman, and funds to Polk State College in Daytona Beach for kids that come from single-parent homes. That's the joy for me. And every year, I'm giving away $25,000 for it. That ain't gonna change. But that's the key. So the commissioners they're working hard. I mean, I see how many emails that comes. Like, now I know who sends the videos and the pictures to commissioners, because they do forward them. It's not like they don't forward them. And so that's the key. We have to make sure that the commissioners understand your needs, and they're fighting. You may not see it, but I have a list of all of their emails and all of their questions that are pages of what they've asked for in their responses. But also, they're here. I send out a bi-weekly report every 2 weeks on every single thing that happens in the city of Daytona Beach. Every single thing. If a lift station is being worked on, it's in that bi-weekly report. Every single thing. Is that right, Commissioner Parrish and Strickland? It's every 2 weeks.
Is it online?
It's not online, but guess where it's going to be going? Online to every citizen and every media outlet. But everything. And then you will know. Like it tells you when we're in the neighborhood. It tells you when we're in the community. And what gets me though is that people may not give they're going to be calling you now asking you, why aren't you doing enough in your community? It's okay, because I know what you're doing in your community. And so that's the thing, but you're going to hear it all the time. You're going to hear it all the time. But that's the key about CRAs and stuff. And it's a tough balance, though. It really is a tough balance. And that's, to be honest, that's what I don't like about zone commissioners. Because they're only focused sometimes on their zone. And we forget about the whole thing, how everything works. And so that's the key. How do we make all of this work together? Because if you're coming to the beach and you drive down International Speedway from I-4 here and it looks bad, why are you even going to the beach? And then when you get to the beach and you see trash, debris, you can't come over the sidewalk, then your view is there. And that's some of the things that Commissioner Parrish brought up about someone was sleeping right at the Breakers Park. You know, how do you deal with that every day? I have someone, that Commissioner Strickland said, I have a part-time resident that sleeps outside my office. He's there on the bench. When they come and say you can't lay there, he sits up and he leans back and he sits there. right outside my office, pretty much every day. And as long as he's not breaking the law, I can't do anything to him. But he'll have his bag, he'll have his blanket, and I know he sleeps out there about 2 in the morning. Police drive by and they get him and he moves on. But he's there pretty much every single day. Outside my office, right on the corner of the glass, I can see him every day. He's not bothering anyone. And then we got staff members that will come in. He comes in and he uses the bathroom just like everybody else. And sometimes I guarantee he takes a shower, probably in that bathroom. And then when it's raining, he sits in the lobby because this is America. And he has that right. And what we try to do is say, are you a veteran? How can we get you services? Do you need assistance? Is there someone we can call? Because we can't just throw him out because he's a citizen. And he knows his rights. And that's why we're in all of the panhandling situations that we are in right now. But if you all could ask your elected officials, if we could do a true strategic plan envisioning session for the city of Daytona Beach, that would go a long way.
And we have a.
It would. We're dealing with priorities for all of our CRAs, and they're gonna, I guarantee you, we had a workshop, I guarantee you they'll change again. And staff will have to pivot.
Okay. So John, I wrote your question down is, when will we actually clean up the beachside? Does that, and then you'll give me your question, Tammy, right? And then, Rich, can you email me your questions? And okay.
I think I have your email. Rich, I think you have.
Probably.
Well, but he has specific questions. Then can I get them all compiled, forward them to you, and then when you answer them, can you post them on the city website as the beachside?
Oh, no.
No?
Because we'll have to post everybody's.
Oh, you mean every meetings?
Yeah, all of the meetings people want us to post. I will send them to you.
Okay.
And then I will send them you'll send them to Rich so he can post them.
Yeah.
Well, posting on Facebook, PDFs on Facebook is difficult, but that is something we will definitely work through. So we'll get the answers and we'll get that out there. And if you wanted to include some of the detail that you were offering before in your question as an enclosure, that would probably be helpful. So, okay, so I think.
Commissioner, do you all have anything you want to say since they're here? As long as you're not voting on something, I don't want to.
We don't usually ask them to speak, but they can speak if they want to.
Mum's the word. I don't want to violate ethics or anything.
Okay.
I'm quiet.
I just want to thank everybody for coming and asking questions and staying involved and being committed to making the city better, because that's what we're all here for. So what I've heard is that I have to ask again for a strategic plan. So, and I'll end at that.
Okay, and it might be good to wait till this inventory of city property is done too, because I think that's gonna be impacting what the strategic plan could be. So, thank you, Mr. Feacher. Thank you very much. Okay. Our next meeting is Lisa Lewis, Supervisor of Elections. That is July 2nd. August 6th will be the candidate forum with the questions. I'm hoping that you all will write down so that we can get them asked, get them out so they can give us very nice specific answers, not blah, blah, blah. And again, we've heard from Monica, John Navarra, Chris Mavronis, Steve Miller, but we have not heard back from Quinita May. So anybody who wants to try to get Quinita May to come, that would be awesome. And then our September meeting will be Tor Gentoli, who is from SMA Healthcare. So we're gonna find out, some of the services they offer that might be helpful in our community. And October's TBD, November's TBD, but December is Mike Chipwood. And that is the end of this meeting. I thank you all for coming and being engaged, appreciate it. And we can leave the tables and chairs where they are this meeting, which is awesome. I know, thank you. And,
6 at each table.
oh, 6 at each table.
6 chairs at each table and pick up all your.
Oh, yeah, pick up all your stuff. And that's it. Thank you very much.